Do you have a story to share with the world? Of course you do. We all have stories to share. An Anchor podcast allows you to share your interests in a way that connects to others all across the globe. If you have been considering starting your own podcast and don't know where to begin, Anchor makes it easy to record, edit, and publish with the click of a button. You can even add music. Whether it's crime dramas, self improvement, paranormal adventures, or tips about parenting, you too can share your unique imprint on the world. Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today. You've got this. I believe in you. Welcome to the Existential Empath Podcast. My name is Tanya, and I am an intuitive empath. My intention is to share valuable tools and techniques that I have learned so you can tap into your own inner healer naturally and intuitively. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you are all doing well. Today's podcast is going to be about how to strengthen our intuitive gifts so we can shift our reality. So, as I was putting all of these things together that I do, not necessarily daily, but I do them quite regularly, I had all of this information flooding back to me, things that I had done years and years and years ago that I forgot about. And I was like, oh, I got to start doing that again. So some of these things that we learn, we put them in our little healing toolbox, right? And we carry them around with us. And oftentimes we forget. And I call it kind of like a spiritual amnesia a little bit. We get this information throughout our lives and we start doing things and it works and it heals. And then we move forward and we learn new things. And then we forget about the old things. So that's why journaling is so important, to write these things down that we're utilizing, because as we move about our life, we oftentimes forget. And it's like, you've got your entire toolbox with a hammer and a screwdriver and pliers. And then, if you're using the hammer all the time, you forget you even have the screwdriver. But when you need the screwdriver, you go back and you look for it and you're like, oh yeah, I do have that screwdriver, right? So it's so important to make sure that we're documenting what we're doing in our healing process or in our ascension journeys. So I just wanted to start off with that because that was kind of funny. As I was sitting here writing down some of these concepts, I was like, oh, I've got to get back to that again. Okay, so let's talk about how do we enhance our intuitive abilities. And I've got an entire list of things here. So I'm going to just go through them, and what resonates with you, then I encourage you to try them out. And what doesn't resonate, that's cool too. Just move on. So one of the very first things that I think is the most important for us to expand our intuition is to reach outside of our comfort zone, right? We want to step out into the unknown because this is where a lot of the magic happens. We have been so programmed to fit into a box, right? To color inside of the lines. And it's so important for us to, let go of that box. There is no box. There is no limitations to what our gifts can do. It's based off of our belief system and what we believe we can do. So if we let go and expand those beliefs and be more flexible with information that comes through us, then our gifts will expand and grow very, very quickly. So, dare to get out of your comfort zone and be active when you do it. Do something that your soul is calling you to do. It may not be something that everyone else is doing, but do it because it feels right for you. And do it even if you're afraid to do it. And this is how you will grow. And this is where you will begin to notice your magic will start to appear, right? Your intuition will begin to expand and grow. And I also encourage you to seek knowledge, seek wisdom, get out there and do some research. Start researching on ancient Egyptian cultures, the Mayans, Sanskrit. Get out there and start looking at the different megaliths and the rock structures, or anything that really interests you, or spark something within inside of you, do some research on it, really dive into it. The Sphinx and the books of Thoth. And there's so much out there. There's so many different rabbit holes out there that I encourage you to start seeking that wisdom and start diving into some of those rabbit holes, because what it will do is it will spark memories within your subconscious mind. And before you know it, you will begin to tap into your gifts. One thing that I like to do is I like to watch Marvel movies, and I never liked these movies. I mean, 20 years ago, I could care less about these movies, but now I love watching them because I love watching their gifts, and it helps me remember who I am on a deep cellular level, because all of us have the capability to tap into these gifts. It's just a matter of us being in the right frequency and believing that we can do it. So, maybe, pull out some of those X-Men movies or those Avengers movies and dive into those. I love Doctor Strange. That's one of my favorite ones, because in the beginning, he doesn't even realize that he has this ability. And by the end of the movie, he's opening up portals and he's doing all this fun stuff. But it was because he had to reprogram his mind to believe that he could do these certain things. So another thing that I love to do is sun gaze. If you aren't familiar with sun gazing, gazing is an ancient practice, all the way back to the Egyptians and even before that. It's where you literally look at the sun the very first 15 minutes when it rises and the very last 15 minutes when it sets. So I'm not encouraging you to go stare at the sun at noon. It's really right when the sun is first coming up in the morning and it's first going down. And you will feel at first, it feels, I don't know, for me, it feels really good. It's almost like I crave it. And living here in the Pacific Northwest, we don't have sun all year round. So now in the springtime, I am just loving when the sun comes out, because I'm getting out there first thing in the morning and just sitting in my chair and just really gazing at it. And I know there's people who can get up to gazing at it for a full 3, 4, 5 minutes. I would recommend starting out with maybe, 25 seconds if you can, and then upping it every day, maybe by 5 seconds or 10 seconds, whatever you feel comfortable with. And you'll be surprised at how quickly you'll be okay with it. Your eyes may water at first, but it's an understanding that the sun is not at full blast when it's first coming up in the morning. There's a reason why we are drawn to sunrises and sunsets, and a lot of it has to do with our circadian rhythm. And when we are sun gazing, it resets our circadian rhythm, and it also activates our pineal gland, which is that little gland in the middle of our brain that is associated with our third eye, and it activates that intuitive knowledge coming through. So sun gazing is wonderful. Sensory deprivation. I love these. I go to these salt tanks. I don't know if you all have those in your area, but it's where you go into these pods and it's full of Epsom salts and you float in it. So there's no gravity and you float, and there's no sound, and unless you choose to, you can actually choose to have music, but oftentimes I don't. There's no sound and it's completely pitch black. So it's almost like it's just you and your mind right in there. And what these will do is these will also activate your pineal gland. So finding a sensory deprivation tank in your area could be very interesting. Not only that, if you do a salt tank, the salts are so healing. All of the magnesium that you get, so relaxing and so comforting. Uh, I I say this in almost every podcast: spend time in nature. There is nothing better than we can do as human beings is to get out into nature and reset our energy. The more time that we spend in nature, the clearer we become. And it brings us back to our roots. It brings us back to who we are. And it reminds us of our connection with nature. So spending more time in nature. Drinking unfluoridated water, that fluoride calcifies the pineal gland. So starting to practice drinking unfluoridated water, whether that's through reverse osmosis or alkaline water, whatever you choose. I know I've talked about this in prior podcasts. It's really up to you what type of water you want to drink. You just want to make sure that there's no fluoride in it or other toxic chemicals. utilizing zeolite or bentonite clay or activated charcoal. These are amazing because what they do is they pull out heavy metals out of the body and toxins. And our brain can get full of mercury, full of lead, arsenic, all of these lovely metals that are in our food, it's in our water, we're breathing it in through the air, there's through caps on your teeth. You can have mercury fillings. There's so many different ways that we can get these heavy metals into our body. And what that does is it calcifies the pineal gland as well. So drinking zeolite and or bentonite clay. I actually do zeolite in the morning and then I do the clay at night. I've got some friends who use the activated charcoal and it's just as effective. And I would highly suggest if you go with a zeolite to get the powder form instead of the liquid, only because it is much more potent and you can kind of change the dose. So you can start with a smaller dose and then add your way up to a larger dose. Also, utilizing ORMUS, orbitally rearranged monoatomic elements. This was something that I started doing many, many years ago, and that was one of my things in the toolbox that I had forgotten about. And recently, I just started up on the ORMUS again. And what ORMUS does is, when you're researching the Egyptian ancient heritage, ORMUS activates our cellular structure. It really dives into our DNA and it activates our not only our pineal gland but also our cells. And so when we are taking these monoatomic elements like gold, palladium, colloidal silver, these are different than heavy metals. These actually activate our DNA. So when you are supplementing with these, you will begin to notice that your energetic system will expand. But what I suggest when you take ORMUS is to take a little bit and then back off, take a little bit and then back off, only because when you're expanding your energy body so quickly, you want to give your physical body time to catch up. Like I've talked about previously, our physical bodies are a third dimensional aspect of ourself. So when we are expanding our energetic body, oftentimes our physical body's not ready for that and it's going to need some time to process. So if you're really overdoing the ORMUS, you will begin to feel it in your physical body through aches and pains because the energy is not moving out quick enough. So I do suggest that you kind of use the brakes on that when you start off taking it. Listening to solfeggio frequencies, of course, sound therapy, sound bowls, tuning forks. These are things that will also activate your pineal gland and activate your intuitive gifts. It could activate your clairaudience. You could notice that after you're doing a sound meditation or a sound bowl that your sense of hearing is getting stronger. For me, I am noticing that my sense of hearing is extremely sensitive. I can hear things all the way across, I swear, all the way across town these days. It's getting much more powerful. And I think a lot of it has to do with I'm tuning in and I'm listening to what's going on more. And I am reactivating that gift that I know I had as a child. Meditation, visualizing. I know for me, I've talked about in prior podcasts, I have a difficult time visualizing, but I am getting better at it. And when I do my meditations, oftentimes I'll do it at night in the dark and have a candle in front of me with a flame. And if you just focus on that flame, what that does, it's very similar to sun gazing, is that light will activate and stimulate the pineal gland, which will then activate the third eye to open you up to more of those intuitive gifts. And there's many meditations out there that you can find on YouTube and a variety of channels that pertain to increasing your intuition, activating your third eye, all of those different types of things. Essential oils, you can also incorporate those as well. I've talked about diffusing them. You can breathe them in. Rose is one of the highest vibrational essential oils, along with frankincense, myrrh, spikenard, all the ones that Jesus received. Those are very high frequency. So if you are meditating, throwing in a little bit of essential oils, maybe on your hands and rubbing them together, smelling them, rubbing it on your chest, or just diffusing it somewhere near you, will also stimulate the activity in your third eye. You want to not be afraid. I always joke, you don't want to be afraid to be a triple mocha in a plain black coffee kind of world, right? You want to be able to be yourself, be your unique self, and not be afraid of that. If you have certain gifts that other people don't have, don't be afraid of that. That's your unique ability. And I personally feel that we all have all of the gifts because we're all whole. It's just a matter of which ones have we fine tuned. And you could be one person could be an accountant and the other one could be a carpenter, and the carpenter goes to try to do an accountant's job and has no clue what they're doing, and vice versa. The accountant tries to cut some boards and nail them and do different things, and they have no clue what they're doing. However, if the carpenter spends time with the accountant and the accountant teaches him or her how to do the accountant work, then in time the carpenter will start to pick up some of those tools and techniques, and vice versa. So I do feel like the more that you fine tune your own gifts and then you spend time with others sharing your gifts, you will also share those gifts with them and they will share their gifts with you. So it's just so beneficial to be open and authentic and honest, and to carry yourself with confidence with your gifts, and to speak your own conviction, right? To speak it into existence, what it is that you want to your reality to look like in this world. And be responsible for the energy that you bring into your life. Be responsible for the energy that you bring into your home, around your family, or maybe at work, around your coworkers, when you're out and about running errands, when you're going to different groups, meetings, events, experiences, whatever it may be responsible for your own energy and really call that energy back in to your body when you have been around others that you might be feeling drained. Because the best way to tap into our gifts is to have a fully charged battery. So it's important to be able to do that. You want to expand your horizons, right? So if you're feeling a little stagnant or bored, maybe you're stuck in your comfort zone a little bit, sign up for something that is new to you. Sign up for something that might be exciting. For example, I just recently signed up for a remote viewing class with Lori Williams, and it was a free 4-day course, and I really enjoyed it. Not only that, she did a spoon bending class in it, which I thought was fantastic. I learned a lot from that too. And these are things that I hadn't really thought about before, but utilizing the remote viewing and understanding it a little more really, really fine tunes your intuition, because you have to focus on things that you may necessarily not be focusing on here in this 3D reality. So I encourage you to, sign up for a class, sign up for a group, meet new people, get out there and meet more like-minded people. And that way you'll feel more comfortable too, being able to share your gifts. Start reading some good books. Some good books that I've read recently are the Dolores Cannon books. Those are excellent. Greg Braden has a lot of really great content. The Divine Matrix, Bruce Lipton, Joe Dispenza. Those are some really great ones that can activate your thoughts, and it can reprogram your subconscious mind to keep you in a state of constantly expanding your belief system, right? Putting yourself out there. Another good thing to do is just let your imagination soar, right? Our third eye is our sense of imagination. And when we imagine things, we create. And that's what we're here to do as humans. We are here to create. And if we are not utilizing those creative centers, which would be our sacral chakra and our third eye, then we are shutting ourselves off to creating new worlds, new realities, right? And so if we believe in ourselves and we focus on different things that we want in our life versus focusing on things that we don't, we actually will create a new reality or put ourselves in a new timeline. We can do those quantum leaps, those quantum shifts. And you want to believe that your future does not lie ahead of you, but that it lies deep inside of you. So when you are thinking about your future, think about what it is that you really, truly, deeply want in your life and focus more on that. And don't let someone who gave up on their dreams talk you out of yours, right? Share your dreams with others, but don't be hung up or caught up on what they say about it, because if they're giving you negative feedback, that just means they're in a different vibrational frequency than you are. So continue to focus on what it is that you want in your life and focus on your own dreams, and always develop an attitude for gratitude and appreciation. So as things are coming into your life, take the time to consciously give gratitude to that, give appreciation to that. And the more that you do that, that's an energetic ripple or frequency that gets sent out into the universe, which then attracts more of that back to you. So the things that you really truly enjoy doing, the more that you appreciate them, the more that you will receive them back into your life. And you want to make your life and your actions a story worth telling. So many of you may be like, well, I don't have a story. Yes, you do. Each and every one of you has a very unique story to share, whether you believe that you do or not. Your story may not be pertinent to you. However, by sharing it with someone else, you may not even realize how much that could help someone. So, live in your story, and don't be afraid to change your story, right? I think that's part of our belief system. We get hung up on, oh, I am a cancer survivor. I am living with fibromyalgia, or I am, whatever you follow I am with is the reality that you're creating. So if you start shifting your thoughts around, I am healthy, I am well, I am, guided by my inner guidance system. I am a creator. I'm abundant. I am prosperous. I am wealthy. I am healthy. I am happy. I am whole. Start changing what you're saying after those words, I am, and begin to share that, as your story. And stay focused. You only see obstacles when you take your eyes off of your goals. So stay focused on what it is that you want to create, and understand we are going to always have obstacles. That's something that we as human beings here in the third dimension experience. However, we don't have to simmer on them. We don't have to sit on the obstacle. We can move through it. And oftentimes, the best way to move through it is to distract yourself with something else. So, if there's something really heavy on your mind, go do something that brings you joy. Go do something fun. If you enjoy gardening, go spend some time in your lawn, in your garden. If you, enjoy ATVing, get out and jump on your ATV and take a little spin. You'll be really surprised at how much that will clear your mind and your energy. And before you know it, that once obstacle is now appearing with a solution. And when you are imagining things, dream as well. So get yourself in a state where you can really dream. And I'm really good at dreaming. I love to dream. It's something that I do regularly. I do astral travel, lucid dreaming, and I set an intention before I go to bed to dive into those different realms, those different aspects of myself. And I utilize crystals to do that. There's many that you can use: labradorite, angel light. There's so many that you can use to put under your pillow to help with dreaming. You can drink mugwort tea. There is a different variety of things. And if you want to check that out in my podcast on astral traveling, we go into more detail on how to get yourself into that deeper dream state. But once you start to practice dreaming more, lucid dreaming more, you can really enhance the colors, the imagery, the visuals, and that can activate that third eye as well. I can tell when my third eye is getting activated because ripples of purple just start rolling through my mind's eye. I can really tell when that starts to get activated. And you want to create the life that you've always wanted. So that means that you have to believe that something amazing is going to happen. Keeping that high vibrational frequency will align you with your soul's purpose, what it is that you are meant to be doing. So the more that you are doing things that bring you joy, bring you happiness, will put you in alignment with that reality that your soul knows that you desire here in this third dimension. So really focusing on what it is that you love, what it is that you want will shift that. So if there's things going on in your life that are making you unhappy or frustrated, then just focusing that energy in a more positive way. And I've talked about the cancel technique and so many different tips and tools on how to shift your energy But a lot of it has to do with our focus and where we are focusing our thoughts, our emotions, and then where we are taking action in our lives. So if there's things that are going in your life that you're not happy with, then I suggest that you take a look at that. Maybe journaling it, writing it down, looking at it from a new perspective. That can really shift and transform your reality. And not only that, it will boost your intuitive gifts. There is a neat little technique that I just learned recently in the remote viewing class, and it's like an ambiance practice. So anytime you walk through a doorway, this could be in your home, this could be, when you're out and about running errands, anytime you walk through a different doorway, notice the subtlety of notice the change. Notice if there's a subtle energy shift. Is there a shift in light? Is there a shift in sound? A shift in smell? Notice that. Begin to tap into that consciously, and that will also fine tune and enhance your intuition as well. You're just taking more notice of things rather than just autopilot, unconsciously walking in and out of doorways. We oftentimes can feel that energy, especially empaths. We can really pick up on shifts in energy. I know I can. I've been on some different paranormal experiences myself, and I can absolutely tell in those situations when my energy has shifted, or the energy in the space has shifted. But I can also pick up on things through my mind's eye, clairaudiently, sometimes some smells, even tastes. I've been able to taste things. So the more that we consciously tune in to that particular radio station, so to speak, we will pick up on that channel. We will pick up on that information. Oftentimes I'll notice it at nighttime when I lay down to go to bed. I will feel energies around me, and I always command that the energies around me be of a high vibrational, loving, positive, healing energy. We don't want any of those lower vibrational energies hanging and lurking around us. So we can command those out of our space. But the more that I, utilize this ambiance practice, the more that I have noticed that my intuition is much more fine-tuned. So that's just a simple technique that you can do, and you can do that for a day or a couple weeks, or just make it a part of your regular practice, where you just notice how your energy shifts in and out of different rooms, different environments and situations. So I hope that this information was helpful. I know that it was quite a bit, and I hope that you got some tools and techniques out of this. I look forward to hearing more. I will put a question in the bottom of the podcast. So if you feel guided to leave a message, I would love to hear if there's anything that I did not suggest that you have information on. Please share that. I would love to hear what you have to say, and also be able to try new techniques myself. So I look forward to sharing more information with all of you in the next episode, and I send you all so much positive, uplifting, healing energy. You deserve to navigate your life as an empath in alignment with health, happiness, and abundance. To learn more about the services that I provide, including Beyond Quantum Healing Hypnosis, EFT Tapping, and the Emotion Code, visit my website at www.thesoulcafe.org.